We all have students who we have a really hard time working with. Maybe they have behavior issues, or maybe they are having a lot of anxiety that day and they can't fully attend to what you're saying, or maybe they're just super withdrawn and in themselves. How can we get them to be present in our class and actually attend to not only what we're doing, but for them to attempt to do what we ask them to do? Because remember, what we're asking them to do is to take a step outside of who they think that they are at this moment, and for them to step into a different version of themselves. That's really, really hard work. It's not like as though for teachers like you and me that we're asking them to do a math worksheet. That is hard enough in and of itself. But what we're asking is for them to step outside of who they are as a person and for them to grow. And what's so cool is that Kenalea and Mimi have done a lot of research, and they have found a really simple and effective way to help all of our learners. Now, they're going to share what it is in this video, and you get to know a little bit about them as well. Kenalea has a background in nursing and was actually a parent advisor for a state school for the deaf before becoming a comms and entering into the world of visual impairments and special education. She has a lifelong love of learning and supporting people with challenged bodies and brains, and that's really what has helped her to continue to learn about how the brain operates. Mimi's real name is Ruthanne. Ruthanne Garcia has been a certified orientation and mobility specialist since 2019. So for the past 5 years, she's been working with adults, and you'll get to hear a little bit more about that. But before then, she was working as an intervener both in the residential and school settings. Mimi has been very proactive in her career, and she has worked extensively with people who have deafblindness. Ms. Garcia has collaborated with developing trainings for deafblind individuals. She has trained direct care staff providers through modeling and coaching. It was such an incredible conversation. You definitely need to listen to what they're saying and take advantage of the fact that the strategies that they're telling you are so simple, you can literally go do them right now. But if you are joining the O&M symposium, then you will get to hear how exactly they do that and how they work it into their lessons and all of that fun stuff. If you're interested in joining the International O&M Online Symposium, just click the link below and you can hop into either the programming that's happening this January, or if you're watching this after January, then join the priority list for next year. All right, let's go to the show. All right, you guys, welcome to the podcast. We've been already chatting behind the scenes before even hitting record. We had to come and oh my gosh, we have to hit record or else we're going to talk about all the things. And then our community is not even going to be involved. So I would love for both of you guys, Kenalea and Mimi, to both introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Do you want to go first? Hi, my name is Mimi Garcia. I'm an orientation mobility specialist. And I've been one since 2019, so not terribly long. Before that, I was an intervener. I worked with kids first, and then I moved on to the adult population. I took a break for a little bit because we moved away, but then I came back and got my O&M, and here I am.
I'm Kenalea Johnson, and I have a varied career. I've spent 35 years as a nurse and began to get some vision problems, and so I ended up with a new profession, and I went to Texas Tech and got my master's and doctorate in my orientation mobility specialist, and so since then, it's been a few years, and I'm very happy to be in this profession, no matter what. I was always moving as a nurse. I can't sit very long, so orientation mobility is my wonderful thing, and I've taught as a special ed teacher and have taught virtually. And I have even used our new uh, tool to teach virtually.
What tool are you talking about, ma'am?
I don't know.
Yes.
We'll have to tell you a little later.
So, for you guys who aren't aware, these lovely ladies are going to be presenting with us for a bonus presentation at the O&M Symposium, and they are talking about a very specific tool that they've been able to use to help with behavior modifications, to help their learners to become more involved in their classes. So that's what she's talking about. So the thing that I love hearing is that you were a nurse for 35 years, and then you lost some vision, and then you decided not only to go through the process of losing your vision, but also then to get a master's and a doctorate in a brand new profession. What
Yes.
what made
She's
you want
incredible.
to do that?
Yeah, Kenny.
Well,
What about you?
I just always figured that you need to learn the most you can. And I've been a nurse for 35 years and had my bachelor's in studio art and had a studio and was working a couple of jobs. And when I found out that my vision could lead to blindness, I decided I needed to know how to take care of myself.
Nice.
She's pretty incredible. I've known her since
Uh,
2014. She's been like a mentor to me, and it's
we
just
pushed her
been,
into the field
yeah,
because she needed to be there.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm glad I
Wait,
came.
tell me that story. You pushed her into the field because Mimi and I used to work together way back in the day when she was an
Way
intervener.
back in the day.
So how did that
Uh
work?
huh.
How did you push her into a field she was already kind of in? Tell us more.
Yeah.
Well, Cynthia Hart and I were already comms, and
Well,
Mimi was working in the same institution, and so
yeah.
we just nagged her till she did it.
Yeah, it was well because it was interesting. Like I said, I started in 2014. There was three O and M. So it was Kennelee, it was Cynthia, and it was Edgeny Bella. And so the three of them, and just over the years working with them and just learning from them, and then finally it was like, do I want to go back to school? No, but should I? Yes. So yeah, I went to SFA and got my bachelor's in it, and here I am. And yeah, I'm just trucking along.
And what a
So
great addition to the field.
yeah, so I'm happy.
I know. But the other thing that I keep thinking about is you guys just both decided to go back to school. It's not like so you had nothing else going on. Mimi, you were married with at least one child at that time, right?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, two, yeah, yeah. So I went back, yeah, and it was like going and traveling to Nacogdoches. So things like that, you just kind of do what you got to do. And I knew it was temporary. It wasn't terribly long, but I did it. And I can't believe I did it. I look back and I'm like, it was funny because my husband was like, is right now a good time? And I'm like, I don't think it's ever a good time. So here we go. So I did. But it's good.
Yeah, I just love talking with the women in our field, men too, right? But I get to talk with so many women because we're a pretty woman dominated field. But what I see constantly is these powerhouse women, right? Handling being a mom, being in the workforce and going back to school, because it's not like so you were like 18, you didn't have a job and then you went to school and then you are like it was a real dedication for both of you guys to actually step into the field. What was the most difficult part about the obstacles that you faced as you stepped further into this field?
Oh man. Um, I guess it's the initial just going, not being afraid and just doing it. Not like it's a walk in the park. It was hard. It was really hard. And there were times I was just like, can I do this? Is this? And I just kept on. And I did. I just having friends, having pushed me, um, and again, I just kept telling myself, "This is temporary. This is temporary. This soon will pass," and it did. And here we are. And yeah. Um, but O&M is not the only thing I do. I live on a farm, so I serve a lot of animals too. So got that too. So, but yeah, it's a whole other world. I'm happy, I'm thankful, and I feel very fortunate. So yeah.
Well, I was going to say that it wasn't any harder than it had been all my life because when I was nursing, I usually worked more than one job and was raising a family and putting my husband through school and things like that. But even when I went to school, I had a full time job and I was a full time student. And then I did my internship and started working for Texas Commission for the Blind at that time and was still working my other job. So, it's just not hard. You just keep doing it. And if you can't stand to sit down, see, I don't even watch television because I can't sit that long. So I'm always moving anyway.
She's always doing something. You should see. She makes all kinds of crafts. So
I love it. So for each of you guys, I know you're coming into the symposium and have gifted us with this incredible bonus presentation. And we were talking before the recording started about how impactful it had been. Can you tell us a little bit about the strategy that you guys are going to be talking about in your bonus presentation? And tell us a little bit about how that strategy came to be.
I don't want to give it away, but I'm just kidding. Just to give it a quick background, it was actually this is cool because I'm sure a lot of us are familiar, with what is it? Is it Van Dyke? He's right from the Netherlands, isn't he? Van Dyke,
He was,
right? So the thing is, it's there was a dissertation done, and I think in 2015 it was done. This dissertation in the Netherlands from this woman, and it was done on our population, adults with cognitive disabilities, with visual impairments. It just fit our bullet point, and it was just such a simple tool that she was doing it on. And anyway, our counterpart Cynthia Hart, she was also all comms, came across it, and it was, anyway, she and Kennelly started it first and we're doing it together. And it was trying to be a very controlled environment at first, because you want to see how this works. Does it even work? And they were getting such positive results. And then, but the reality of life is you can't always have it controlled. You can't always have that perfect little space because it's just not life. And as I was saying earlier before we started, it's just the population we serve. I mean, classrooms can be chaotic too. You've got someone having I don't know, having a little behavior or whatever. It's just that's just how it goes, and it can disrupt things. And we were seeing that, so we kind of just morphed it into something new. But I don't know. Should we just say what it is? I mean, so should we just say what it
Yeah,
is?
I mean,
Okay.
you
So
can talk about it. It's
okay.
you're not going to be able to give away more
Yeah.
too much.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to say
Yeah.
it.
So
You can just share whatever.
okay. Okay. So yeah.
so let me just say it
Yeah. Go
this
for
way
it.
then. We found that we began to understand a brain that was dysregulated. And because I am always reading and studying, and I had learned that I'd studied some classes with Dan Siegel, and he really gave me a lot of background for understanding that dysregulated brain can't learn. With more other people that I read or studied with, I learned that um, we can, we must modulate that dysregulated brain and get it regulated before we can do anything. So between our study and we replicated the part we needed to in our study and found that within 7 minutes of a 15-minute time when we play nature sounds,
Mhm.
that uh, brain was really better. They
Mhm.
began reacting. If they were
Mhm.
withdrawn, they came out. And we just started using it everywhere.
We really did. We used it in group settings. We used it with, I said in the video, hang on. Okay, there you go. There you go. The warning popped up. We were saying in our video we did, it, like, I had a friend who just had a baby, and because I was telling her about this, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, look, I want to read this." So I sent her the dissertation. I told her, I sent her all my notes and stuff, and she just had a baby, and her baby is real fussy, and she just couldn't get him to calm down. So she tried it, and he just like immediately calmed down, just calm down, and it just sounds crazy that it's just nature sounds. So it's like birds chirping, and a lot of times I'll use my phone, or because I have a little speaker, because it's something, it's portable. I know not everybody can use a phone. People have done it on their computers, but it's like a natural sound. And I recently, I've tried it, not recently, but with one of our deafblind individuals, adult, who she's like in her 60s, but I tried it with a heartbeat. It's again a natural sound. We all know, and just to watch people's our individuals, just to watch their responses to it. It's been remarkable. And I was, again saying, we presented at the 2020 TAER conference, and fast forward a year later, I was at a friend's wedding, and I ran into a TSVI, and I mean, she stopped me and she told me she saw our presentation and she's been trying it, and she was just like, "Holy cow, it works!" And it is. It's interesting because people have been like, "Yeah, whatever," and that's how they've been to her. But she's like, "Here's a study behind it with actual like proof." And I mean, not to mention just our own personal experience with it, and it just, because people just think it's not going to work, and I'm like, it does. I've used it in so many settings, like so many situations, from having a SIB, self-injury behaviors, to stuff off campus, to some of our individuals that are just in themselves, kind of passive in a way, and you're just trying to bring them out, to engage, to even deafblind. It's just been a fascinating tool, and it still blows my mind. And I tell people, you've got to let it run for about 15 minutes, and yeah, like, just within the first few minutes you see it. It's remarkable, because we're in such a busy world now. Everything is busy, like things are just going, things are, like the refrigerator's humming, or this is that, or phones are ringing, or someone's upset over here, and it's just life, and we can't give everybody their own little self-contained calm spaces. But it's like, I don't know, just to be able to have this in your back pocket of like, because we can all regulate ourselves better. A lot of us, we can leave after work and go get, favorite ice cream or a drink if you need, or whatever it is you need, to help calm you down, to help bring you down. And a lot of our students or adults, whoever we serve, struggle with that,
Well, I think also one of the things that causes the biggest dysregulation is the fact that most of the individuals we're serving have sensory impairment, and they get overloaded sensory wise very fast. And when that brain regulates within 15 minutes, they can tolerate more. And I found success in my classrooms and in my virtual classrooms, in my regular classrooms and my virtual ones, because I would play it after transitions or when they're coming in, and it really makes a big difference.
yeah.
The whole group, you don't have to do it one on one.
Yeah, you don't have to. That's the thing. We thought it was like a one-on-one, but it just morphed into something just because the need is so high. And, so Yeah, we just, because sound affects behaviors, your environment, all that it can. So,
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely it does.
hmm,
And it's so lovely how when you started, Mimi, you were talking about it's so simple, right? And
it
so a lot
really
of
is.
people don't don't give it enough weight because
Mm-mm.
it's simple.
Hmm.
But really, if our education can go back to being simple, it
Hmm.
can be a lot more effective. And it's so beautiful the way that you guys have been talking. Like, I can hear the passion in your voice, and I can hear how it's really affected your lives and the lives of your learners. And I also think about, when I go to sleep, a lot of times I'll play like rain sounds because it helps to calm me down. Or I really like just like lo-fi. My parents hate lo-fi, but I love it. And I think our generation really enjoys the more naturalness of like different sounds, especially of nature sounds. And that makes complete sense that it would help everybody because the more that we can get closer to nature. So I love how you guys are sharing about that.
And I think our epigenetics from all the centuries bring us down to a place where it speaks to us.
Hmm.
I grew up where my nearest neighbor was 12 and a half miles away, and the nearest town was 35. And I've heard silence. So, as an 83-year-old person, my hearing goes higher than any of you who have been raised and lived always in a metropolitan area with all the sound because I heard silence. And if you haven't heard it, you're not going to hear it because if you haven't built those pathways in your brain,
Hmm.
it's not there.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, living where we are now, out of the city for almost 3 years now, and it's a life changer. Like I don't think I can live in a city again, just because it's so quiet. It's just, but it just makes you think about it, you know? Because I mean, we've all done it. You walk into a classroom, or in our case, a home, and you're just like, woof, like
Yeah.
this is chaotic in here. You have the TV blaring. You have somebody with a toy. It just is. It's almost over here is they're eating. It's just, and again, it's the nature of the beast. And I'm not hating on or anything like that. It's just one of those. So it's then trying to educate people. Like we don't have to have all three
Yeah.
TVs on in the house at once with like three different things. Like it's okay to maybe just play soothing music or yeah, it's a thing because it is like I don't we're not meant to hear stuff all the time like constantly, like I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the stuff that the younger generations, the amount of sensory input that they get is so different than what even I can handle. My kids sent me a YouTube video, and it was just like a bunch of different memes, right? But it was overlaid on like they're playing a video game and then the person's yelling at the same time. And I was like, whoa, these 15 seconds were too much for me. This is normal for you. Like there was like 10 different memes.
And we wonder why the kids in classrooms are jumpy and moving
Yeah.
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, there it's like the amount of like dopamine um overload in their heads just from YouTube alone. And because there's also like a lot of pressure to like keep go. I remember when I was teaching yoga and then I started teaching teachers how to teach yoga, they would all skip the very end, the laying down part. And sometimes it's because it's the hardest. It's the hardest to get the kids to do. But also, if an admin walks by and sees you and all of your students are laying down, you're not necessarily getting a good report.
I know.
Like, isn't that time? And
Yeah,
you're like, no,
no,
this is
like
important.
it's hard to justify that. So I'm looking forward to your
Sure,
presentation
sure, sure.
and getting to actually watch that because then I can take it to my admins and say like, okay, Like, I'm going to start doing this, and this is why. And you're going to start seeing different things, and you're going to start hearing different things, and it's going to be a lot calmer. And it may not look like we're working, but we are. And I really appreciate you guys putting all that together. And I love being able to take these bonus presentations because I can watch them at any time. And I can watch them like while my kids are asleep, or I can watch them like early in the morning as I'm getting ready for work or something of that nature. It's really helpful. Okay, so we are actually about to wrap up.
Thank you for having us.
So I
Yeah.
know it goes by so fast. I know I could talk to you guys for forever, but I want to ask you guys, I'm going to have you each give a piece of advice. And if you were to give one piece of advice to our community to help them to take a step forward in being better teachers, what would you say?
Keep learning.
Yeah.
Don't
Go ahead.
don't rust out or burn out.
You know, I was going that way. I was really going to say, take care of yourself, really, at this point in this time. It's just, everything just feels a little, everyone's struggling. That's why I'm just like, can we just be nice to each other? Like, we're all struggling right now. Doesn't matter what you are, like what profession, just be nice. But, that's not really a piece of advice. I don't know. I feel like I got to piggyback with Kenny. I don't know. Take time for yourself. You know, whatever it is you got to do. I don't know. Just try sitting in silence. Go for a nature walk.
Love that. Love that. So good. This is always so fast. I feel like I could talk to you guys for so long. Thank you so much for
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
coming.
We got a lot. No, thank you for having us, and we appreciate it. So we appreciate the opportunity.
Yes.
So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for doing all this work and like for now being the people to spearhead a little bit of like a nature movement, a little bit of like, let's get back to the root of what actually works. And even if it's like playing nature sounds on your phone, let's get back to like that part of education.
Yeah, just slowing down. I think that's part of it. Thanks.
I think everyone is lately is like, yo, enough. We've hit our max. Let's just.
Seriously. I mean, seriously. You know, putting the symposium together. I know it's a lot of
I
work,
know.
but just know you can YouTube just birds chirping, and it's there. I've used it 100 times. I'm not even kidding.
Perfect. So for those of you guys not coming to the symposium, definitely still look into using nature sounds in your presentations. And if you are coming to the symposium and you get to hear how they do it, then even better. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Wasn't that such a fun conversation? I loved getting to hear everything that these women have shared about their experiences and how easy it is to bring nature sounds into their orientation and mobility lessons. I think this is one of the things that I will be bringing in to all of my lessons from now on. If you're interested in joining the Orientation and Mobility Online Symposium, definitely come on down. There's a link below. You definitely don't want to miss this. But if you already have missed it, don't you worry. You can join the priority list and we will give you more information about everything that's coming down the pipe. But as always, either way, if you're just staying here on the YouTubes or wherever you're catching this podcast, like, subscribe, leave us a review, leave us a comment. I want to hear from you, my friend. Anyway, I hope that you can use this information to help you take a step forward into being a much better teacher of your students with visual impairments.